Today we are going to be discussing the fiction notice and know strategy, Words of the Wiser. When you are reading and a character who is probably older and a lot wiser takes the main character aside and gives serious advice, you should stop and ask yourself, what is the life lesson and how might it affect the character? Whatever the lesson is, you've probably found a theme for the story. The first thing we have to consider is how to know when a character is speaking wise words. There are certain characteristics or situations you may notice as you're reading that may help you answer this question. A quiet and serious talk with a wiser character, something that impacts the main character. It sounds like a life lesson or as good advice. Or usually someone older and with more experiences. Remember, wise words help the reader determine the theme of the story. Here's an excerpt from Writing Freedom. See if you can identify the wise words being spoken. Thanks, Vern. I wish I could stay with you and work with the horses, but I'd be in the kitchen and I'd be missing Justice and fretting because I wouldn't get to see Charity's Foal or help you name it. I know, Miss Charlotte, said Vern. You gotta do what your heart tells you. I won't ever forget you, said Charlotte. I guess I'm not likely to forget you, Miss Charlotte. The wise words came from Vern, the older of the two characters. The character states, you gotta do what your heart tells you. This statement is likely very helpful to the main character. What could the life lesson be? Maybe it helped the main character make a hard decision or accept the situation for what it was. Either way, this sounds like good advice. Let's take a look at another excerpt from Writing Freedom. See if you can identify the wise words being spoken. Here were 6 strong horses waiting for her commands, her tug on the reins, to tell them which way to go. She yelled haw and gee to get them to bear left and right, like she did when she was riding one horse or driving 2. She wished Hayward could see her, and Vern. Vern would have never let her get out of that wagon until she figured out the turns. Just like when he taught her to ride. He kept putting her back on Freedom, her horse, after each fall, saying, every time you fall, you learn something new about your horse. You learn what not to do next time. Were you able to identify the wise words? The wise words came from Vern once again, where he said, every time you fall, you learn something new about your horse. You learn what not to do next time. So what is the life lesson here? How might this affect the main character? It sounds like the life lesson is more than just getting back on your horse when you fall. I think it's about learning from mistakes or failures. If the main character hasn't already applied this life lesson already, then they might see these failures a bit differently the next time they fail or a mistake occurs. So to summarize, when you are reading and a character who is probably older and a lot wiser takes the main character aside and gives serious advice, you should stop and ask yourself, what is the life lesson and how might it affect the character? Whatever the lesson is, you've probably found a theme for the story.